If you have Graves' disease and want to use natural treatment methods to restore your health back to normal, then you will most likely want to consult with a natural endocrine doctor. However, finding a holistic doctor that specializes in endocrine disorders such as Graves' disease is no easy task. You of course can choose to speak with a general holistic practitioner. However, being someone who personally dealt with Graves' disease and successfully used natural treatment methods, I strongly recommend speaking with a natural endocrine doctor for optimal results. But how do you find a competent natural endocrine doctor? The best way to find any good doctor is through a referral, as if you know someone who happened to be treated by a natural endocrine doctor and received great results, then this is definitely someone you will want to contact. Of course, most people don't have such a connection, and so they resort to searching for a doctor on their own. While it would be great if you can find a natural endocrine doctor who practices close to where you live or work, the good news is that you usually don't need to speak with a holistic doctor face to face. Assuming you've already been diagnosed with Graves' disease by an endocrinologist or a general medical practitioner and received a physical examination, then it's perfectly fine to consult with a doctor remotely over the phone. In fact, this is what I did when I was diagnosed with Graves' disease. Since there wasn't a local natural endocrine doctor I could speak with in person, I was faced with the choice of either speaking with a local naturopathic physician who probably had some experience with thyroid conditions, or to speak remotely over the phone with a doctor who had a great deal of experience dealing with Graves' disease. I chose the latter option, as while I would have liked to speak with someone in person, I preferred to consult with someone with a lot of experience, and to this day I have no regrets. In fact, there are some benefits of speaking with a doctor remotely over the phone. One big advantage is not having to wait in a doctor's office to see a doctor, as I would speak with them from the convenience of my own home. Plus, I didn't have to drive to an office, deal with rush hour traffic, and so on. So convenience is definitely one of the benefits of speaking with a natural endocrine doctor remotely. You of course can also use the internet to search for a holistic doctor that specializes in treating endocrine disorders naturally. You do need to be careful, as there are some doctors who might claim they specialize in endocrine disorders when the truth is that they accept many other types of cases and as a result only deal with a handful of Graves' disease patients on a weekly or monthly basis. Let's not forget that Graves' disease is a serious autoimmune thyroid condition, so you really do want to consult with someone who has a great deal of experience. Getting back to searching on the web, you of course can visit your favorite search engine and type in the words natural endocrine doctor or natural thyroid specialist, and then call some of the doctors listed to determine which one might be a good fit for you. I actually list some of the websites you can visit on my free guide entitled The 6 Steps on How to Treat Graves' Disease and Hashimoto's Thyroiditis Through Natural Methods. If you haven't received your free copy, you could get it simply by entering your first name and email address on the right side of my website, which is listed at the end of this video. Some people who have Graves' disease attempt to self-treat their condition using nutritional supplements and herbal remedies. I'm not a fan of self-treating any thyroid condition naturally, but it's especially risky to treat Graves' disease on your own. I'm a healthcare professional, and while I easily could have done some research and attempted to self-treat my condition, I decided to consult with someone who had more knowledge than I did at the time. And while today I do have the knowledge to help people with Graves' disease and other thyroid conditions, I can tell you with certainty that if I had tried to self-treat my condition at the time I was initially diagnosed, I would not have received the same results and most likely would have not restored my health back to normal. While nutritional supplements and herbs do play a role in helping people with Graves' disease, not everyone with Graves' disease needs to take the same type of these supplements and herbs. Plus, different people will of course require different dosages. In addition, there are other factors important to one's recovery besides taking supplements. So while it might seem easy enough to visit your local health food store and purchase some nutritional supplements and/or herbal remedies, in most cases Graves' disease is too complex of a condition to self-treat on your own. In summary, finding a competent natural endocrine doctor can be a challenge, but if you want to receive optimal results, then you really should consider speaking with someone who focuses their practice on endocrine conditions. And remember that if you are having difficulty finding a natural endocrine doctor, you can download a copy of my free guide where I provide some resources to make your search easier. To receive more natural thyroid health tips on Graves' disease, please visit naturalendocrinesolutions.com, where you can get my free guide entitled The 6 Steps on How to Treat Graves' Disease and Hashimoto's Thyroiditis Through Natural Methods. This guide contains 100% pure content, and it is not a sales pitch for any product or service. Thanks for watching this presentation.